Welcome to Vision One Media Artist Shoutout. I'm Ella Beth, your host. I'm really excited about today's interview. This artist is someone that I have heard about from other friends in the scene, a couple of people who've already been on the podcast. And I'm really excited to talk about all the different things that she does, because she's not just a singer or a songwriter, but she does many, many things and wears many, many hats. And I'm really, really keen to check out her story. So without further ado, this is INDEE Star.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
I'm really, really glad that you decided to come along today. Thank you so much for being here. Is this your first podcast?
This is not my first podcast, but first podcast like this.
Okay. Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. So first sort of like
different.
with the set and the lights. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Oh, I love it. I'm here for it.
Okay.
I'm open to whatever happens.
Cool. Me too. I'm really excited to dig a little bit into your story. So we were just talking a little bit before about you doing music in school. I assume you've been doing it, one of those people who've been doing it like your whole life, always have some sort of music. Tell me a little bit about early music for you.
Yeah, so I began music ever since I can remember, because of my mom. She plays piano on a really high level. She went to Juilliard.
Prestigious. Okay.
She's next level.
Yeah.
So there was always this, when you're a kid, you don't know any better. You're just like, oh, this is normal. It just, music was in the house all the time. My mom would be playing all the time. She played on the piano since I was in the womb. And so she started me really early. Both her and my grandmother. Music runs down my lineage on my mom's side, and even somewhat on my dad's side.
Awesome.
So, it's a very personal thing. It's an ancestral thing.
Yeah.
And I started piano really early on. I should be way better than I am today at it, but you know how it is. I was a singer-songwriter always in secret.
Right.
So I had to always change the composition my way and not keep it the way it was, which is a mark of like a, singer-songwriter, composer.
Yeah, right. The composing
You have your own
side.
ideas about the song instead of what's actually written.
Yes.
But I owe my thanks to her and then my early teachers in school, choir. I know we were talking about that earlier. I kind of did music forever, like since 5. My grandmother and my mom taught me on the piano, and then in school I always sang in choir. There were a couple years when I took off because the teacher, I didn't get a good vibe from. And I could tell she didn't like me, and I was a very sensitive kid, so I was like, I'm not going to be in choir this year.
Really?
It was in middle school, yeah. But
were the other kids saying, Miss, you're really missing out by not having the student in the choir? She's really excellent.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone cared. I don't think anyone knew. I was kind of like a shy loner kind of kid.
Okay. Did you find that music sort of like music on your own helped you through that though? Through like being, shy and stuff? You go home, be shy in public, and go home and be a prolific songwriter,
I don't know about prolific in those days, but yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, it was medicine.
Yeah. Do you feel, being like a third-generation musician, do you feel like that sort of plays into your own personal sound?
Totally, yeah. And a lot of that is classical, like a lot of classical influence, because that's what my lineage, my parents, my mom, my grandparents, I think there's even music before that. But yeah, they were all classically trained and on a really high level. And I think that was expected of me. And then I went down that route for a little bit, but then my health stuff in the universe was like, nope, this is not your path.
Right.
And you're going
and was very clear about
it. Very clear. I fought very hard, and every time I fought, it was like, no, here's a tower card, more like drama for you.
Yeah.
Until you finally switch, redirect your path. So, and then it got smoother when I changed to singer-songwriter. So I kind of just told you my story.
Yeah. Okay.
Nutshell.
So digging into that, tell me about your health journey, because you have mentioned to me a little earlier that that's very intrinsic in your singing journey.
Yeah. So it's a long story, but I'll try my best to sum it up. I was normal and healthy for a large part of my life. And then at 15, we were, in track, or like in a PE class. In school. And I looked down, and the most painful bug bite of my life. I looked down, and at the time I didn't know. It was a tick, and it left a giant red ring on my leg. And I didn't know, Lyme disease, that's a thing, and it can cause all kinds of autoimmune issues and all kinds of wreak havoc on your health.
So you were in track and you just like felt it all of a sudden and it was on your leg?
Yeah, it was the most painful bug bite I've ever experienced, still to this day. And it left a red ring after for days, weeks. I don't know how long. I don't remember anymore. But at the time, I didn't know what Lyme disease was. Right. I didn't know ticks do that. I'd heard about it, but I didn't know, that happened.
Right. A tick bit me at school. I'm going to get wildly ill. I'm also worried about the fact that the tick was then, you didn't know, no one knew the tick was, left at the school for the next victim.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're in Georgia, so, they're kind of everywhere here, and it's either your fate or not. But anyway, that little tick changed my life. Little did I know. And I think there maybe, I don't know if it's all due to the Lyme. It could be other things. But anyway, long story short, at 19, and I kid you not, I had a dream that I couldn't walk. And it was the whole musical in my head. In this dream, I was singing I can't walk. And then I had a song that I sang, okay, but I will walk again one day. This is just for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I wake up and I'm like, man, what a dream, And then I kid you not, I couldn't walk. I had all these problems happen with my feet and my limbs and all in my body. So that was the beginning. I was 19. From about then to about my early mid-20s, I had a lot of health challenges. I went from doctor to doctor. No one knew what was going on because this was 10, 15 years ago when they didn't know as much about autoimmune.
Right.
They didn't know how to diagnose it, or some of these doctors would misdiagnose me and be so certain that this is what I had. And then they would give me a treatment, and the treatment did nothing.
Right.
I saw no improvement, and I just, one of the biggest things that came with this was the pain, the physical pain, and so it taught me a lot about life.
Yeah.
Having to deal with, because I think we all as human beings, especially now after these last few years, we've grown so much, and one of the things that makes us grow is what we go through in life, and I guess this was one of my big just experiences that brought so much wisdom and lessons into my person, and to me becoming the person that I am today.
Yeah.
And putting that into
the resilience, for one, that's incredible. Yeah. So you were very, very ill and misdiagnosed for a number of years.
Yeah.
You mentioned that before or maybe after the bite, but you said that you started teaching vocal coaching around 17.
Yeah.
So again, was music kind of the thing sustaining you through all this, or did you sort of put that on the back burner, or?
It was always the thing for sure that kept me going.
Okay.
It was the thing that, it was my North Star.
Did you find yourself writing a lot because there wasn't much else that you felt like you could do?
It's interesting. Back then I was a classically trained soprano.
Okay.
So I was heavy into, my vision was, even though I was sick, I wanted to be a classical singer. I wanted to sing operas all around the world and different opera houses and sing with orchestras and do that. But it always, to be honest, I always felt like a black sheep in the crowd of that crowd of people.
Yeah.
Because I was a little different.
Yeah.
And it was very clear to everyone.
Yeah. And that, don't get me wrong, I also did some classical and light operatic training, and I also felt the same. I was like, I don't think this is my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's great, but I just don't think it's my thing. So
yeah, it's you can have the voice for it. I had the voice for it, but it wasn't my people. It wasn't my soul.
Right. These people live, breathe, drink opera, and you can sing like it, but if you're not doing all the other things, first of all, it sort of puts you a little on the outs of the community, but also there's like, I think in that way, like opera is truly like an all-encompassing art form and skill, So I totally get that it was just like, no, maybe this isn't it.
Yeah. It sounds like you get it. You've done it. You get it. Yeah, when you're, I don't know, they're different kinds of personalities, but when you're that personality and you're just so creative and you have your own things to say or to express that can't be fully expressed through what you're,
right.
Right. Dead people's music.
Right.
Old dead people's music in other languages, even though that stuff is so beautiful and there's a time and place for it and there's an audience for it and we can all still love and appreciate it and even sing it and enjoy it. But, sometimes you need more, and I always needed more. I bet you felt that same way.
It's like, why can't I put a little melisma in this part?
Yeah.
Because that's not how the opera song goes. Well,
what do you mean?
Right.
That run sounds great.
Right. That's
good.
exactly. It goes with the emotion. Yeah. No, I feel you so much. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So as you, while you were ill and you were sort of taking time, but using music to sustain you, but you weren't quite writing yet. You hadn't become transitioned yet. What was the catalyst for transitioning?
Yeah, I did write a little bit.
Okay.
But it was like in secret and I was like, I could never. No, I'm not a real songwriter.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. The catalyst for transitioning was my vocal health getting so bad that partially I think I wasn't ever declared by doctors or diagnosed or anything, but I'm pretty sure, and my mother's intuition's pretty strong, and she always says like, a lot of your vocal health issues have to do with your autoimmune. And I've talked to so many other people that have had voice problems and autoimmune, and there's a strong correlation there. So I can't wait for the day the voice science world does an actual study on this. It does. But yeah, my vocal health, I just had been through so much. I'd been through nodules. I'd been through surgery. I'd been through a reoccurrence of my nodules coming back and just having so many issues and always having a hoarse voice. One day I was working my church job, my classical church job, and my choir director came up to me and, to the side and secret, like where no one was around, the rest of the choir. And she's like, Jennifer, I know you've been here for many years and you're amazing, but I have to let you go because your voice just can't do what I need it to do as a soprano 1 section leader. And
that's so tough.
Yeah.
That's so tough.
And I knew it was coming too. Like there were I could talk forever, but there were other things that kept happening like that. But that was like for sure the catalyst turning point. And I was like, you know what? This is done.
Yep.
I fought this as hard as I possibly could. But I just don't think I'm meant to do this, even though I'm so confused. I was certain I was meant to be a classical singer. But I guess my health won't let me. So
right.
I have to figure out something else.
Yeah. So you got into songwriting.
Yeah.
And started creating your, I guess reinvention as an artist in a way, because you have to start from, not scratch, but you're starting from a different platform.
Oh, it's entirely different.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you studied classical, you understand your voice and your head voice specifically.
Right.
But you haven't studied how to write a song, how to play an instrument.
Right. And you'd only played piano up till then.
I played piano, and I played piano through sight reading.
Okay,
right. Sight reading a piece and then, memorizing it and playing it.
Okay, all right, sight reading. I used to do that too.
Yeah.
So when did the guitar playing come in? Because you play a lot. You write on your guitar now a lot, which I think is super cool. I'm not a guitarist, so I'm just like, female, particularly.
You can learn. I did it. I taught myself.
True.
You can do it. Let me encourage you.
Okay,
as a teacher,
I'm gonna take that.
Just as someone who did the path. You can do it. You can do it.
Okay.
You just gotta stick with it.
So how did you learn?
I taught myself. I got a job when I was 15, and my first job at Macaroni Grill, where I was a hostess and I sang to people. And with that money, I went and I got myself a guitar. I got the wrong guitar for myself. The strings were so tight, so much tension, and they were like such a big guitar for, you know, for me and my hand, my tiny little hands. But I wanted it, and I learned just simple basic chords, and I did start writing on there, like very simple songs. I would never show anyone any of those songs, except one. There was one good one, but
2 and 3 chord songs, and you know, just like feeling how to get the groove of the rhythm while you're playing, and I feel that.
Doing covers, you know, anything and everything I could. So I started. It was a very on and off thing, but because I wasn't pursuing it, I even did it through college, but it was very sporadic.
Okay. But it's your main instrument now. Like your voice is your main instrument, but it's what you perform with.
Yeah, it's just the most, what's the word? Not ergonomical, but like portable.
Yes.
You know, because with the keyboard, unless I go the synth route, it's like
big and in the way. Yeah, no, I totally feel you. Okay.
And then I'd also play a little harp, but I'm just not super advanced on it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I saw that on your Instagram. I don't know why I hadn't brought that up yet. That is so cool. Like the harp playing. When I was 12, I said to my mom, I was like, I want to be a harp player. She was like, okay. And she, to be fair, to her credit, she did look up where the harp teachers were. The closest one was like 2.5 hours away from where I live.
God.
So small towns in Australia. Maybe it's changed since I left. I don't know. But I was like, harp playing would be so cool. So
wow.
Yeah, you play the harp.
You can still learn.
Again, still learn. There's time. We've got lots of
learn. I encourage you.
Yeah, what a beautiful, incredible instrument. What do you perform with that?
I did. I just did a show with it.
Cool.
With ATL Collective. We did a bunch of Radiohead covers. We did the entire album of Kid A. So
I saw that show had been on. Quite a few people who I follow on Instagram were all part of that show. Is Radiohead really big in ATL? Or, okay, are they from here or something?
Oh no! Radiohead. Oh, do you not know the magic of Radiohead?
I know Radiohead. I don't know the Kid A album. Does Kid A have like Karma Police on it?
No, that's the one before, or the one two before.
Okay.
It's a couple before.
Well, now I feel like I need to go listen to this album because I didn't come see the show, but I saw quite a few people involved in it, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, listen to that album. It's so good.
Okay. Does it also have harps on it? Or did you...
Oh, yeah, there is harp. There's harp in Motion Picture Soundtrack, the final main song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I just experiment with it, and I just love, I don't know, I'm one of those, I've transitioned from singer into just like a creator, producer-y, arranger, I don't know, just whatever.
If it fits the vibe or feeling, that's what you, I love that. It's nice though to have the freedom to be able to do that, you know, that you can go and use different sounds and different mediums to create in what you're feeling at any point. I love that for you.
Yeah.
So on that as well, you've just become a yoga instructor.
Yeah.
And you like tie a lot of your holistic healthcare and your holistic approach to the voice with your yoga, or you're hoping to be able to mesh them a bit more. Tell me about that.
Yeah. So because of my health journey, and to sum that up, because I apologize, I probably was talking so much about it.
It's important.
Yeah, I could never like sum it up. A long story is always difficult to sum up.
Absolutely. You
know how it is. But to sum it up, I got myself healthy, just functioning. I couldn't walk. Like there would be 90-year-old women that passed me on the street because I was not able to walk. But I found the holistic world. I found yoga, and I found plant-based clean eating, and I can't say that I'm a good girl and I eat plant-based like clean all the time now, but back then I was pretty strict to just get myself well, and I still eat there's certain things things that I do to make sure that I don't go back to how I was, because it can easily do that.
Right. You want to maintain what how far you've come, definitely.
Yeah, and even with the voice too, like whenever my body is out of whack, my voice is out of whack too, because it's all tied to
exactly.
the
It's
autoimmune and just the imbalances in our body. So yoga is a tool that's been used. They say now it's been around for possibly even 10,000 years.
Isn't that wild? 10,000 years of people just being like, hey, you know what? If I do this stretch or move my body this way, I feel pretty good.
Yeah. And I also have overcome a lot of mental health challenges, and I still deal with them. But like yoga has always been that best friend that's been there for me, and just clean eating. And the clean eating is still a journey for me. But yeah, I've been, I just finished the school, and I'm looking to, I already kind of have like integrate more breathing techniques, isolated breathing techniques, more movement with the body, and just helping singers and artists that sing and people that want to sing but they're just afraid to get more in touch with their body and get more grounded with their body, because half of the time they're not getting the full expression of their voice, or they're not using their voice to their full potential because they're not in their bodies,
right?
Or
not engaging certain parts, to the best of their ability. So I love that.
Yeah, and I know as a singer, you probably totally get that,
Yeah, I mean, yes, I do. I understand. I mean, especially when it comes around to like the midsection and using your muscles and everything. But I think all singers can always be working on that, because again, they're muscles. Like if you're not using them properly, they atrophy. You have to make sure you're engaging to get the most out of from here. So.
Yeah, people always think, so I think some people think like, oh, your voice just comes from here, but you sing with your whole body.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. If you are only singing from here, stop that. It's bad. You won't have this for very long. Stop that.
Yeah. Which is what happened to me, because I wasn't in my body.
Yeah.
But yoga has taught me, it's a tool that's allowed me to work through all the different reasons, trauma, whatever it is, to be more in my body when I sing. And now I don't have the same voice loss issues like I used to.
That's so amazing. Yeah. That really is so amazing.
So I'm just trying to figure out a way to get that out in the world.
And help other people.
Yeah.
Because it really is important, especially for performers who perform like really perform all out, like dancing, choreography and that, people on the stage, like that's really important. And I think a lot of the time the holistic approach gets overlooked in the industry.
It does.
It's like, okay, does the package look nice? Yeah, it's fine, cool, throw it out on stage.
What's the science behind it?
Right. Can you show me the science? Because if you can't, I don't want it. So what about with your yoga and your music? How do you want to incorporate more of your music sound-wise into like your practices and your teaching and educating?
It's funny you asked that question. All things I'm still figuring out, because I just graduated yoga school. But for several years now, I've actually gotten into sound healing, sound baths. And I have a few sound healing instruments like crystal bowls, Tibetan bowls, koshi chimes, the harp, and the voice, the human voice.
Yes,
using my voice in that way. So aside from like my creative project, and this is still creative, I do want to, several things. I will be bringing, and I already am bringing, I will be teaching a private yoga session for a friend later today with sound healing.
Woo!
And that's kind of what I do. Like I'll teach yoga and bring in some sound healing instruments, just to really quiet people's nervous systems and calm them down, which has actually been scientifically proven.
Yes.
For all the naysayers out there, it does help.
Right.
It really actually...
If it didn't work, why is everyone addicted to ASMR videos?
Right.
Literally. Like
because it puts you in rest and digest. Your parasympathetic nervous system is stimulated instead of your sympathetic nervous system, which stays in fight or flight. A little stressed out, feeling like we're electrocuted all the time, sipping coffee and just making it worse.
Looking at screens and absolutely.
Yes, looking at screen. I'm still working. I need to. That's a bad habit.
Girl, me too. Me too. I just downloaded a whole bunch of apps that I haven't actually signed in and started using yet, but apps for like minimizing screen time.
Yes.
I tell myself, I'm like, I'm a performer. I'm constantly having to email about like shows and dates and make Canva images. And I'm calling people all the time. And like, you know, part of being a performer, especially as an independent performer, is like promoting yourself. But I'm probably, you're the same. I spend so much time just looking.
I get you. Yeah. Yeah. My best, most happiest days is when I have the phone off.
Yes, and away. Yeah.
Phone off and just like, I don't care. And I'm like working on other things. And
yeah. I feel you. Yeah, that's tough. Because it goes against everything that's creative. It's like you're just being given other people's creation, which isn't wrong. That's not inherently wrong, but it's like you're only consuming. There's no output. And that's terrible for our poor creative souls.
Yes. It's a balance we have to learn.
Yes.
We're all, I think, everyone's still, a lot of people are figuring it out. I know I am.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also, to finish answering your question, I am looking to integrate sound healing and just more conscious music into my music, but
cool.
Probably creating a separate project, and I already have ideas for that.
Okay, so that's something to like keep our eyes on for. Okay. Yes. Oh, so on that note, have you got any projects under INDEE Star that will be coming out?
Actually,
anytime soon? You don't have to give us any dates, but like something we can look forward to.
There are no dates.
Okay, all right. Okay, actually, yes, in 2023.
I've been working on 2 albums.
Simultaneously.
And I'm putting together this is the sound healy conscious thing. Mm-hmm. I'm in the works of putting that together. That nothing has been recorded for that, but the second, the 2 other albums, one of them may turn into an EP. We will see. Okay. But they are in the works. The songs have been recorded. The first one, we just have to finish. We still have quite a lot of work to do. We have to finish. And then the second one, we're getting there.
Okay.
We are getting there.
Okay, that's exciting.
So we will be close to mixing and then mastering both of them at some point. I hope this year. That's what I hope.
Okay.
This year we will be.
I'll keep my fingers crossed for you as well. Yes.
Next year I will cry, but I hope that we can just near completion, which has been a difficult thing for me to just complete projects that I put everything into. So,
absolutely.
But it's exciting.
Yes, that is. I love that for you. That's super cool.
Yeah.
And without giving anything away, can you like give us a little idea about the music in the albums?
Yeah. They're both concept albums.
Okay, cool.
Yes. And when I first started them, first of all, this first one will be my debut album because I have stuff out on Spotify and all streaming services, but I don't feel like it really represents me anymore.
Absolutely.
You know how I think every artist says that?
Always, all the time. I put something out last month and I'm like, man, I have evolved.
I've grown light years since then.
Who's she?
I don't know who that girl is. I shed that skin. This new stuff, though, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
And then we'll say that about the next thing.
About always, yeah.
But, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Like what kind of, you said concept albums.
Oh, yeah. Okay, it's called La Bohemia. It's a concept album. And at the time...
I'm already in love. Title is everything. But yes, I'm sure. Keep going.
Yeah. At the time when I came up with it and was writing it, I was going through so much. I went through, you could say it in your own way, like Dark Night of the Soul, Spiritual Awakening.
Okay.
But just a lot of growth and change. And in a way, it was perfect to write it then and be writing all of these songs. Mostly the second album came from after, or like towards the end and after.
Okay.
And some during, to be honest. They're all over the place. And then the first one was right around when it started or before.
Okay.
So it's interesting because La Bohemia to me, before when I started, meant like a place within yourself that you've come to that is peaceful. It has a lot of meanings and it's still taking form and shape. But yeah, it's about everything in a way that we've seen and gone through as a collective, and a lot of us go through as we evolve as humans individually through our own lives and lives that become stories. And, you know, I love the quote. I forgot who says it. I want to say it's like Carl Jung. I want to say it's Carl Jung. But he says, you aren't what you came from. You aren't your past. You are what you become.
Mm.
And you are always becoming. And I know I didn't say that word for word, but that's the meaning.
Yeah.
And
right. We're literally constantly evolving, always. Yeah.
And I think for people that have had a difficult past, whatever that is, like that's something to hopefully give those
encourage
people hope, you know, because I've gone through some things. I know I haven't gone through like war, but I've gone through some things enough. And to me, that was dramatic, and it was a lot.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
That gives me hope. You know,
absolutely.
To live by that, like we are always becoming. And so that's kind of what this album is about. And the first album is a lot of love songs, but it's also finding self-love, going through the darkest time. Like there's one song on there called River, and it's about hitting rock bottom. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel with the message. It's about hitting rock bottom, however, and knowing that no one's going to be there to save you, but you always have the power to save yourself.
Mm.
And you will, because when no one's there, you have to.
Yes,
and that's
absolutely.
what I went through, and that's how that song happened. So there's a lot of songs like that.
Was it about, is the song vaguely about throwing yourself in the river? I've written a song. I wrote a song. Yeah, it's called Going Down. Yeah.
Wow.
It's about jumping off a bridge. Well, not actually jumping off a bridge. It's about standing on the bridge and thinking about jumping off the bridge.
Wow.
Yeah, real dark, real deep.
Wow. Oh, I love it.
Dark night of the soul.
I've got to hear it. Ooh.
That'll be on like the B side of the EP if there's a B side.
It should be on the A. What are you talking about? So many people are going through it.
Right.
You know?
And that's what I tell myself. I don't perform the song very often because I'm like, man, this is so depressing. I'm not depressed by it anymore. It doesn't but I'm just like, man,
you've gone
really
through it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, this is so depressing. And I keep having to remind myself with a lot of my material, I'm sure a lot of artists do, that like just because it's not relevant to me anymore, it doesn't mean that it wasn't written to help someone else who might be where I was, you know? Like,
absolutely.
That's so important. And I'm like, no, like no one wants to hear sad songs.
Yeah.
I don't know why I think that. I love sad songs. Like I am the person that I want to listen to my music.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you never. I mean, I think life is a rainbow palette of all the emotions, right?
Yeah.
So whatever is true to you, what you experienced, I think is totally valid to express and put in your music, and because someone's
that's
gonna
important. Totally
relate and connect with you on that, and it may help them on their journey.
Right, absolutely. And that's, I guess that's also the other part of being an artist and a creator. We do what we do because it truly fills up ourselves.
Yeah.
But we also do what we do because when other people not just appreciate, but when other people are moved emotionally by what we do, that also fills us up, So it's the both sides of it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 So I have a few questions to wrap up sort of the end of the interview. We have like this little new segment that I'm trying out. So I have a couple of sort of short form questions, and feel free to answer however you'd like. They're all fairly music based. So my first one is, if aliens came to Earth and they were like, they were like, show us the greatest album that your planet has ever like produced. What would you pull out?
It would be a tie between, I'm going to bring up Radiohead again. Radiohead In Rainbows and Radiohead OK Computer.
Okay.
It would for sure be those.
Okay, Radiohead Stan. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honorable mention, Jeff Buckley Grace.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Honorable mention.
Yeah. I think those are great answers.
Yeah.
I really like that. So what about if you could have written any song on the planet that you haven't written, but like, is there one song that you just, every time you hear it, you're like, man, I wish I wrote this. This is the greatest thing.
Oh my God. I don't even know how to, that's a tough question to answer. I would love to write a Bohemian Rhapsody. pull a Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
You know, I wanna be that bitch.
Like something so iconic, so epic. Okay.
But I mean, with that
not
being
the
said,
Bohemian Rhapsody, something like, okay.
With that being said, that's quite a high, what's the word? You know what I'm saying?
High glass ceiling.
Yeah, that's a high glass ceiling to really reach. So I'm, we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to do my own thing. And
yeah, absolutely.
Cool if it happens, the new age Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. Off La Bohemia. Oh.
Yeah. It's
the follow-up to La Bohemia.
It is very influenced by our great Freddie Mercury and Queen.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
They're big influences, but that's
love that.
Yeah.
So that takes me on to the next question. If you could share a playbill, it's a one-day festival down in Piedmont Park, and you're one of the acts. There's 4 other acts. Who would you share the playbill with, dead or alive?
I love that you're asking me this question because I watched your last interview, and this was a question in the last interview, and I was like, oh, she asks me this.
Yes.
Well, speaking of Freddie Mercury, I would love for Queen to be there.
Yes.
Obviously, Radiohead.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Tom York, Nigel Godrich, Johnny Greenwood, Colin Greenwood, any of those boys from Radiohead, they're welcome. It'd be cool to have Paul McCartney there.
That would be. I'm already. I mean, like, I'm there.
And then
tickets $800. I'm there.
Can I add 2 more?
Yes. Yeah, you can.
Elliott Smith would resurrect from the dead, and so would Jeff Buckley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would that be all right? And then Joni Mitchell, she's still around. Like Joni Mitchell.
She comes out right at the end and just absolutely floors everyone and shocks everyone. They're like, oh, it's Joni Mitchell. Yeah. You guys do a duet. That would be it. To close out the festival.
I could die happy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love that.
Just to be in the same room. I don't even have to make music. To be in the same room.
Be in the room with her. Yeah.
With all these people.
Yeah. In the green room backstage, just looking around like, oh my God. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I love that. That would be, what would you call the festival?
The best music.
The best of all festivals.
The best.
The best. Just the best.
Just the best. I don't even know.
The best fest.
I don't have a name. It can't have a name. It's so high vibrational. It's all the greats.
I love that. Ethereal, ephemeral? I don't know.
Yeah, you won't believe this festival.
Yeah.
You won't believe who's here.
I love that. You won't believe this fest. You know what? I'd go to You Won't Believe This fest. That's cool. And lastly, if you could still, and I don't ask all the guys this, but I'll ask the girls this. If you could, actually, you know what? We're not about genders here. I ask everyone this, but if you could steal anyone's wardrobe for a week.
Oh, goodness.
Because at this point, I would probably steal Harry Styles' wardrobe.
Honestly, Harry Styles.
What a cool dresser.
I'm with you on that.
It's all the fringe and the sparkles for me, truly.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I have to really think about that because when it comes to visuals, I'm really bad about that.
Okay.
So
let the music do its thing.
I'm one of those like.
I like your style though. I mean,
we like flowy, we like bohemian.
Yes, flowy bohemian. No, honest, truly, I'm very much a fan of like pattern mixing for sure. I love thrifting, so it's just like
Yeah.
No, yes, keep doing it. I love it. But
man, I have to come back to this. I may not have a full answer. You know what? David Bowie.
Oh,
David
yeah.
Bowie.
What a
snappy
snap dresser. He really did. He really did the thing. He did. Yeah. The hair, the makeup.
Yeah.
Like,
we could do it.
It was the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that for you. Yeah. I can. Yeah.
It's a whole movement.
Yeah. Truly. Like.
Yeah.
He was the vibe and the moment and the icon. He was just all of the thing and the mood. Yeah. I love that. Very cool. You know, I can imagine you in some Ziggy Stardust face paint.
Oh yeah, it'd be different music completely.
Right. But it kind of that vibe.
So edgy and bold.
Yeah.
Yeah, and colorful.
That's always it. Yeah. Well, you're on your way.
Yes, in a bohemian.
In a bohemian fashion. I love
type
that.
Of way.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, can you tell the audience where to find you on the internet, where to find your music, and where to follow you to get all the updates or to book a session with you?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. You can find me on all those social media platforms. You can find me on Instagram, on TikTok even, and I have my own website. If you go to the bio, you can just click, and one of the first 4 options, if you want to you can book a free 30-minute consultation. I'll give you the coupon code. It's first free, no space, all capital letters.
Oh, look at us getting the link up.
30-minute vocal session, holistic vocal session is what I call it. My Instagram handle is at INDEE star 1111. So INDEE spelled INDEE star 1111, and it's INDEE star on all streaming platforms as well.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I have had such a pleasure getting to know you and hearing a little bit about your story. And yeah. And I'm sure we will be seeing and hearing each other around about the town.
For sure.
I mean, the same way that this keeps happening, that I'm like, oh, we like just have friends in the music scene already.
It's a small world here.
Yeah, I'm loving that. I'm loving getting to be part of that. So.
Yes.
Cool. Yes, love. And if you're a person who would also like to come and be on this show, you want to come and do Artist Shoutout, you can hit us up at Vision One Media ATL on Instagram. We're at Vision One Social at Gmail, Vision One Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. You can also hit me up. I'm ellabeth_music. But if you want to reach out to us, you'd love to come and do this, or you'd like to get involved in some other creative projects, or you need your projects done, dusted, edited, recorded, whatever. We're all here. All of that's here, right here at Vision One Media Studios, and we'd love to hear from you. So thank you so much, and we'll see you all again next week. Peace.